my sales still sink. But
just like your attitude.
yeah, it is when it comes to eBay right now. But let me go ahead and share with you. I had quite a few nice sales on Etsy. Thank goodness. First thing that sold was this Fisher-Price Little People School Playground set. This was from that lot of Little People that I picked up at one of our local thrift stores. I paid $65 for quite a bit of stuff. I mean, I sold one thing for $100. I actually sold several for up there. So everything at this point is profit. This set sold for $44.95. Tie Pluffies. I think I actually sold 2 Tie Pluffies. This is Dangle the Monkey, and he sold for $26.95. Gans, Wrinkles Dog Hand Puppet. You know, there was a time these sold for about that much for one. And now I'm really having a hard time. I've decided to put them in lots. This set of 2 sold for $22.45. Probably something I need to just start steering clear of, unfortunately. Here's the other Tie Pluffies. His name was Whiffer the dog. Sold for $26.95. We picked him up at the Asheville bins. We paid $1.79 there, so you can kind of guess how much we paid for it. It's probably, I don't know, 6-7 ounces. Bought a bunch of Madame Alexander's one time at an estate sale. It was the last day, and one of the workers came up to me, and I had been looking at them, and she said, if you take them all, I'll give them all to you for $20. I want to say there was a dozen of them or so. I may have sold all the others. I don't remember seeing any recently going through my inventory. So this particular one was Elise the ballerina, and she sold for $44.95. This is Russ. Love Russ. Applause. Dakin. This is Misty. Was a white dog. Sold for $35.95. Perfection by MJC. Don't pick up a lot of these. I ended up having 2, so I put them in a lot. They sold for $26.95, which makes me remember there was a comment in one of our latest videos. I guess I don't remember names, but they had said that they were new to my channel and they were surprised on how much Plush sells for. So, you know, that was the whole purpose of this, is to let people realize, you know, it's a good add-on. Now, would you be as crazy as I am and have 10,000 of them at some point listed? Probably not, but it's definitely worth something to check out when you're out and about in the thrift stores, estate sales, yard sales, to pick up. But it's like my favorite thing to sell.
Somebody would have to put in some serious effort to be as crazy as you are. You don't come by that on accident, y'all.
And let's just say I've spent 14 years with you, so maybe there's some causation there.
Maybe. What's that old song? She drives me crazy.
He drives me crazy. All right, Gund, cute little white dog from 1986, sold for $22.45. Somebody else made a comment that said, you know, because of my videos and how well I've been doing on Etsy, that they were considering putting a few plush on Etsy. So just try it. You never know. And then last but not least, child, I've had these forever on eBay. Just got them over onto Etsy, and they are Mattel Barbie Glamour Puppy Dogs from 2006, sold for $11.65. But I'm just glad they're gone because I've had them forever.
I don't know if y'all can hear it, but there's water dripping out there. We had snowpocalypse yesterday, and we were supposed to get, like, depending on which forecast, anywhere from 6 to 14 to 18 inches or whatever. And we have exactly, 0. We had some rain. It's 47 degrees today. It's supposed to freeze overnight, so the roads might be slick in the morning. But
no snow.
No snow. It's saying that we could end up with less than an inch. My parents got hit pretty good. Mm-hmm. My sister showed me the map that said they were supposed to have gotten 15 inches there north in Louisiana, north of St. Louis. I don't know. That's what the weather app said, that they'd gotten 15 inches of snow. So, and it's going to be cold there this week, down to -6 one night with a whole bunch near down in the single digits. So if you're in that area or somewhere like that, stay warm this week, y'all.
Stay warm. For eBay, as you guys can see, well, you can't see the tabs. There's not a whole lot. But first thing is this Hasbro Sesame Street Cookie Monster, sold for $12.
I got distracted by the weather. So, sales this week. On the up, on the even, not on the down though, right? On the even?
No.
On the even at bad?
No, yeah, the even at bad. And, I think this week, I've had 3 days that are my all-time lows. They're within $1 or $2 of each other. And when I've said this in the past that, I had my worst day ever, well, I've had my worst days ever. It's just been awful. But I'm not going to promote. Believe me, it pulls me to say, okay, let me just go in and do these promotions. And then I think, no. I've done this for 27 years, and I can honestly say something ain't right. Something ain't right.
But you're stepping up the cross listing.
I am.
And you've made some more sales on Poshmark, so that's helping out some for this week. You're not seeing it this week of sales, but in next week's video, you'll be seeing it.
Yep, I'm full on cross-listing everything somewhere else, because if eBay's not going to do this for me, I'm going to see if I can get it going on other platforms.
So if eBay doesn't want your money, maybe Poshmark or Mercari or Etsy will, right?
Mm-hmm. Back to it. Robert picked this up at some point at an estate. So I want to say there were 2 or 3 of these old belt buckles in there. I want to say he paid $5. I got a nice message from a person who had looked at my listings and said that this item was a reproduction, because I couldn't tell, but he gave me the reasons on why. And so I lowered the price a little bit and put the word reproduction in there, and somebody made me an offer of $24.55. So I just want to make it gone. It's nice when, people send you these messages. Chico's women's jeans, sold for $12.68. I didn't get all of the clothes out of my store and put them into Robert's store, so there's going to be tricklings of sales, but there weren't that many left. This is a staircase from a Disney Encanto house, and so replacement, sold for $9.95. Now all of my stuff is, the buyer has also paid shipping. Folk Manus Screech Owl Puppet Plush, sold full price, $9.95. IKEA Husky Dog Wolf Plush. They come in a couple of sizes. I think this is one of the larger ones. Sold for $28.45. Christmas ornaments, foam. I think they had some velvet on them, just kind of a hodgepodge. I figured they were all red. I'd make a lot out of them. Again, they've been listed 3 or 4 years plus, and took an offer of $8.76. I think this is the last bottle. We picked up 3 of these Undertaker mortuary type clear empty bottles, vintage, at a yard sale that we stopped at on our way to Missouri one time. I think we were in Illinois. I want to say we paid $5 each, and this is the last one to sell, $37.95. It was a very good stop. I picked up a couple of really interesting items there. Wildlife Artists, I like that brand. Nice quality. This was a wolf hand puppet, sold for $14.20. Aurora Precious Moments dog plush, sold for $11.50. I like finding them, but again, they do not sell for a whole lot. I just picked up 2 more at the Asheville bins. They're just cute and soft. Tie Beanie Bellies plush lot. I picked these up thinking I was going to put them on Whatnot. Just decided to make a lot of the 4 of them. I'm all about the lots these days, and these sold for $15. Heffalump from Winnie the Pooh. I guess his name is Lumpy also. I had forgotten that, but somebody, when they left me feedback for this, they reminded me, so I'll have to remember that the next time I find one. But this is the second one I found in just the last few months. I want to say the first one sold for $60, $70, $80, somewhere around there. This one was a little bit smaller from Learning Curve, and I ended up taking an offer of $30. So anytime you find Lumpy, definitely check it out. Probably pick it up. Douglas Husky Wolf Dog. A lot of them are bread and butter. These smaller, 6, 7, 8, 9-inch plush. But always check comps for sure. This one sold for $14.20 in about 4 months. Dakin Dream Pets. I love them. These particular ones were from Hawaii. They were Harry the Turtle and Hawaiian Hound. I left them together. I'm pretty sure I picked them up at the bins. And they ended up selling for $23.70 in about 2 months. I like them though. But they need to be clean and in pretty good condition for me to pick them up now. I'm guessing I picked this up at an estate sale, probably with some other stuff. But it was a Winnie the Pooh washcloth. Definitely vintage, and it sold for $8.
Y'all, I did some cross-listing on Depop in the past week. Just like 5 things. And be careful with the scams. I had a few emails come in that looked pretty good. It seemed like they were coming from Depop and wanting verification. And the ones that were even better were the ones that they were making an offer. It made it seem like they were giving me an offer for something on Depop. And when I went to Depop app, there was nothing that there. And if you look in the email headers, you could see where the email is actually coming from, and it was coming from some, it's always some weird domain name. So not just Depop, but any of this stuff, especially as a new seller, don't click on links in email messages. Go to the platform, do the work on the platform, not through clicking links in email messages. And that pretty much goes, especially your bank accounts, anything like that. Avoid clicking links. Go to the site, do the work there.
Next thing that sold is this Gund Cream Polar Bear plush. Sold for $15. Another bear. Slowly but surely getting rid of the old plush. This was a 13-inch bear. Didn't have a tag. Sold for $9.45. But you know what I'm learning? Just today I was cross-listing to the other platforms, and I came across, I think, 2 things, but the last one that I remember was a doll. And at the time that I listed it, however long ago it was, I couldn't figure out who it was. So I just pulled up the listing and Google Lensed the first picture. I was able to figure out who it was, and actually my price was too high, so I adjusted it down. Hopefully I'm going to be able to sell it then. So if you've got stuff that's been listed a while and at the time you couldn't figure out what it was, check it. See if you can figure it out now, especially with Google Lens, because some of my stuff's been listed long before I ever started using Google Lens, or even if it was available. So, just words of wisdom. Check out that old stuff. Aurora Barn Owl plush. Again, I've been doing lots, even 2 identical ones. I just decided to put them together. $12.30. This is another one of the clothing items that I picked up in a large lot of Terry Lee dolls. This was just a cute little raincoat, and it sold for $14. I am so glad to see this gone. I love Mattel My Child dolls. This one had issues. It needed definitely some tender love and care, but I swear every time I did end and sell similar on this, I had somebody coming in offering me $10 or $11, then telling me every month that they normally pick these up for $12 and $8 shipping, and that I should take their offer. And every month I didn't block them, but every month I would just decline. And finally, it sold $35.16. Aurora Pom Pals. I think they're adorable. I pick them up anytime I find them. But, like this lot, the 2 of them sold for $10. But they're so little. It might be 5 ounces, 6 ounces for the 2 of these. So I didn't pay very much. and still making $10. Eric Carl, Kohl's Plush, been making the lots. These two sold for $18.95. You can tell from my pictures on the side here, I started out with the polar bear, and then at one point I found the horse, and you know, that's just what I do. I take the listing down, take the pictures, you know, shuffle them around and relist it. Super easy. Sock Monkey Plush. This one is from Toys R Us. Sold for $18.95. They're hot and cold. Sometimes I find them and they take forever to sell. And then this one took, what, about 4 months to sell. Not too bad for Plush. This had to have been a Robert pickup. Klingon Dictionary. Sold for $7.50. Nerd stuff. Oliver and Company Finger Puppet Lot. You know what? Part of me thinks this was like Wendy's. I don't know why I don't have that in there. But this set of 4 sold for $9.95. It might be my last set. I bought a bag of these at some point. Don't remember where, but I had several sets, and I think this is the last one. Memphis Grizzlies mascot plush from Bleacher Creatures sold for $19.95. Another Douglas Artie the Aardvark pink plush sold for $19.95. And, oh, nope, one more. All right, Kohl's If You Give a Dog a Donut. Funny was I was just about to put the cat, which the black cat in this series, definitely one to be looking for. It's like $30+. But my thought had been I would put it with this, but then this sold, so $11.40. I love any of the ones in this series. I think I got the last time we made this video. I keep saying, if you give a mouse a muffin, mouse a cookie. I gotta remember that. Mouse a cookie, dog a donut, moose a muffin, and the cat is, I think, a cupcake.
Why doesn't the mouse have any of them?
I know. That's what keeps throwing me off. But nope, it's give a mouse a cookie. And then my best sell is another one of these North American Bear Flatopotamus Hippo plush, sold for an offer of $100. I think this is the second one to sell. I can't remember what the other one was, but it was probably around the same price. Like, let's just say $60, $70, $80, $100, somewhere in there. I think it was the pink rabbit. I might have one more that I found at the bins in St. Louis. In Robert's store, American Eagle women's boyfriend jeans, $26.71. He had some nice sales. Levi's 501 men's jeans, $19.23. Lee blue denim jeans sold for $15.01. Now all of these are plus shipping. Royalty for Me Hold jeans, been listed forever, sold for $9.95. Corette women's sweater vest, sold for $11.86. Wonder, are sweater vests making a comeback again? Don't know. Wrangler Q Baby women's jeans. These took probably less than a month to sell, $17. Playboy by PacSun Happy Camper sweatpants, sold for $16.68. You can tell these are, it's been a while. The pictures are not good on them. Not good at all. Side Saddle was the brand. This is a women's western shirt with the embroidered horses, sold for $12.55. Val Mode lingerie women's pajamas set, sold for $22.21. I just picked up another vintage gown at the Asheville Bins the other day. His stores, I couldn't hardly sell them in my store. They're doing fine in his store. It's just weird. All right, Talbot's women's petite jeans, sold for $14. Gap men's denim shirt, sold for $10. Talbots again, slim ankle jeans, sold for $18.88. And his best sale was this Magnavox jacket, men's nylon, sold for $42.23. And y'all, this has been listed probably 3 years in my store. I just transferred it over to his store in December, and it sold. Somebody explain it to me.
I'm more of a fashion mogul than you are.
Yeah. Now, that is one thing nobody will ever say about us, is that we dress fashionably.
Yeah, so yeah, cargo pants and Carhartt t-shirts.
And I am sweatpants and Life is Good t-shirts. Always. Always.
I have ventured out into some Under Armour shirts.
And some denim jeans.
And one pair of
denim jeans.
And because, I'm like, well, these look all right. And they're like, at the bins for whatever one of those shirts is going to cost at the bins, as light as they are.
Cents.
Or a couple bucks at a yard sale. So it's good being a reseller because you can buy your stuff cheap at yard sales.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Sunday, I'm not working, but I did make the video. And if you are watching this any other time, it's time to get to work. Bye.